Have you ever rinsed your grapes under the tap for just a few seconds and thought they were clean? Most people do it every day without realizing what might still be hiding on the surface. From invisible pesticide residues to natural wax and dirt, your quick rinse might not be enough. In this video, we'll show you the right way to wash grapes effectively and safely so you and your family can enjoy them worry-free. Stick around, because a small change in how you clean your fruit could make a big difference. Before you even turn on the tap, how you separate your grapes can make a big difference. It might seem like a small step, but the way you prep them before washing affects not only how clean they get, but also how fresh they stay and how good they look afterward. Let's start with the method most experts recommend: separating your grapes into small clusters. This approach strikes the perfect balance. You don't leave the whole bunch intact, but you also don't remove every single grape. By breaking them into manageable mini bunches, you keep their natural shape, which reduces bruising during washing. It also lets you access more surface area for cleaning without the risk of damaging the fruit. Grapes washed this way tend to stay fresh longer. They're easier to store in containers or jars, and you won't see as much skin splitting or juice leaking over time. If you're planning to refrigerate the grapes for later, serve them at a gathering, or even photograph them for social media, this is the ideal method. Just make sure the grapes are still firm and the stems are green and healthy. Now, what about removing each grape from the stem completely? This might sound like a thorough option, and it is. Separating each grape means you can scrub every side, even around the stem area where pesticides or insect eggs might linger. It's a smart choice if you're serving grapes to young kids or want maximum cleanliness. But there are trade-offs. Once grapes are pulled from the stem and washed, they become much more fragile. They bruise easily, especially if they're already ripe or soft, and they spoil faster. The skins might tear, and they can start leaking juice within hours if not eaten quickly. So when is this method worth using? It works best when you're going to eat the grapes right away, or use them in a dish like a smoothie, salad, or juice something that calls for individual grapes, not clusters. In short, how you separate your grapes matters more than you think. It's not just about getting them clean, it's about protecting their texture, flavor, and shelf life too. Let's move on to the washing step itself. First, grab a large bowl or basin. It should be big enough to hold all your grapes comfortably without crowding them. Then, fill it with clean water, just enough to fully submerge the grapes. Now it's time for a simple but powerful ingredient: salt. Add 1 tablespoon of salt to the water. That's all you need, just 1 tablespoon. Then stir gently until the salt completely dissolves. By the way, how do you usually wash your grapes? Let me know in the comments. Everyone has their own method, and I'd love to hear yours. Once the salt is dissolved, it's time to add the grapes, but be gentle. Lower them slowly into the water and avoid pressing down or moving them too roughly. Grapes bruise easily, especially the ripe ones, and we want them to stay as perfect as possible. Now, let the grapes soak in the salt water for 10 to 15 minutes. This step does more than just loosen surface dirt. Salt water helps remove pesticide residue, reduce bacteria, and dislodge tiny bugs or eggs that may be stuck to the skin, especially around the stem area. It's a natural, chemical-free way to clean your fruit more thoroughly than a quick rinse ever could. Soaking also helps break down the thin, waxy coating that grapes naturally develop, making it easier to wash off in the next steps. It's a small investment of time that can make a big difference in food safety and freshness. Once time's up, you're ready to move on to the next step. But already, your grapes are on their way to being safer, cleaner, and more enjoyable to eat. Now that your grapes have soaked in salt water, it's time to rinse them under clean running water. Hold the small clusters or individual grapes under the faucet and use your hands to gently rub the surface. This helps remove any remaining residue, salt, or loosened dirt. Be careful not to use too much pressure. Even the slightest squeeze can bruise the grapes or cause their skins to tear, especially if they're already ripe. The key here is a light touch, just enough to make sure they're truly clean without damaging them. By the way, where are you watching this video from? Let me know in the comments. And if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more useful tips like this one. After rinsing, it's time to dry the grapes. You can let them air dry in a colander or on a clean towel. If you're in a hurry, gently pat them dry using a paper towel. Make sure it's clean and soft to avoid bruising the fruit. And that's it, your grapes are now clean, fresh, and ready to eat. Whether you're storing them for later, serving them to guests, or just enjoying a healthy snack, you've done it the right way. Here's an important reminder. Don't wash your grapes if you're not planning to eat them right away. The added moisture can speed up spoilage and cause the grapes to go bad much faster, even in the fridge. Instead, only wash them right before you eat or use them in a recipe. That way, they stay fresher and firmer for longer. And if you're using organic grapes, don't skip the wash. Even though they're grown without synthetic pesticides, they can still carry dust, bacteria, or tiny insects from the farm. A careful rinse is always worth the extra minute. Let's take a moment to talk about why grapes are such a great choice, not just for their taste, but for your health too. Grapes are packed with powerful antioxidants, especially resveratrol, which supports heart health and may help reduce inflammation. They're also a good source of vitamin C, vitamin K, and potassium nutrients that help boost your immune system, support healthy bones, and regulate blood pressure. And despite their natural sweetness, grapes have a low glycemic index, meaning they provide energy without spiking your blood sugar too quickly. That makes them a smart snack for both kids and adults. So how can you enjoy grapes beyond just snacking on them straight from the bowl? You can toss them into salads for a pop of sweetness, freeze them for a refreshing treat, or blend them into smoothies for a natural flavor boost. They're also perfect for cheese boards, baking, or even roasting with savory dishes for a sweet-savory contrast. What's your favorite way to eat grapes? Let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for new ideas. Whether you're enjoying them fresh, frozen, or cooked, grapes are more than just a quick snack. They're a delicious way to nourish your body, one bite at a time. Now you know how to properly clean, store, and enjoy your grapes while keeping them fresh and safe to eat. Just a few simple steps can make a big difference in taste, appearance, and nutrition. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more everyday tips that make life easier and healthier. And if you have any other fruit washing tricks or grape recipes to share, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.